Boom shakalaka, what is going on everybody? Randall here from Crypto Love, and today we have a sponsored video for you guys. Now, before we get started, I just want to say thank you to everyone for subscribing, thank you for mashing on the like button, and if you want to win a t-shirt, make sure you comment on this video and every other video to enter for your chance to win. Also, pause the video, read the disclaimer, don't be a dummy. Now, like I said, this is a sponsored review. In being so, I'm going to tell you honestly what I feel about these things because I've reserved the right to do so, and they're going to get some airtime on the channel. Now, some people don't like sponsored reviews, but hey guys, I don't post YouTube ads before my videos. I don't do other stuff like that. So, you can choose whether to watch these videos or not. Today, we're going to be taking a look at Xtory and Tatau. So, to begin with, let's take a look at Xtory. Licensed and legally compliant crypto, fiat, and securities trading. So this is the first licensed and legally compliant trading exchange in Germany and Liechtenstein. Okay, if you can spell Liechtenstein, I'm impressed. But we'll go through their website, we'll take a look at their white paper, I'll tell you the good, the bad, the ugly, and then guess what? You make up your mind for yourself because all I do is make YouTube videos. So, Xtory. They're designed to establish cryptos as a legitimate class of investments. So right now, there's a problem with cryptocurrencies that they lack transparency. Xtory is aiming to fix this by kind of bringing together legitimate stuff and cryptocurrencies like darknet market, all that stuff, so that on this exchange, it can, give it a good name, all right? So they say the secret of change is to focus all of your energy not on fighting the old, but on building the new. They are a licensed fiat and crypto exchange, like I said, in Germany and Liechtenstein. And they adhere to the standards of the Economic Monetary Union of the European Union. Yeah, the Monetary Union of the European Union. All right, cool. I thought there were two unions in there. So they do that. And basically, in their roadmap, they are pretty early on right now. So in 2017, the start of development of the Xtory system and basic services. In beginning of 2018, founding as operator of Xtory in the Principality of Liechtenstein. Now we're Q3, Q4 2018, I'm not exactly sure, somewhere in there, but start of marketing and the start of the token sale, which will be starting soon. I think this said in about 35 days. So that's about where they are now. They conclude the test phase with exchanges closed beta version. So they have a closed beta version going right now, so they do have kind of like an MVP. Now, things to look forward for this in the future, 2019 in Q1, they have the essential functions of the trusted operated wallet, okay, plus the trustee value audition. 2019, the community platform goes online, and that's in Q2. Q3, the My Admin wallet, so your wallet under your own control. Now, this is pretty cool. It's kind of like having a decentralized exchange where you own your private keys. So that's pretty cool in terms of this exchange. And then after that, they're acquiring the MTF license, crypto and fiat debit cards, zero transactions, but that stuff is way in the future. Pooling of ICOs and escrow services, all that stuff. Now, they have the token sale coming up. I'm not going to go into that stuff. If you guys want that stuff, you can check out their website, xtory.com. But here's the main features of their token. So this is how the token is used. So a permanent 50% discount on regular transaction fees. Also, you'll be able to do ICOs and also security crowdfunding on the Xtory platform. So they're doing utility tokens and security tokens. And they're using transaction mining, which is like the cool new hip way of fees on exchanges. Instead of paying like a flat fee, you basically as a token holder get rewarded in payments for transaction fees. So that's we're seeing that on a lot of new exchanges. Seems to be a pretty cool way of doing things. Zero time transaction services and payments, and some other things including token buybacks, listing fees, stuff like that. They go through all the use of sold tokens. And if we take a look at the team does have a long history of business experience. So we have 22 years. Serial entrepreneurs, different things like that. So we have a lot of people who have been involved in business for a long time. We have a good number of developers here. And then also, if we scroll down, I mean, they do have the legal stuff because anytime financial stuff, you obviously need the legal people. But if we look at the list of advisors here, they do have a significant list of advisors, many of them in large financial firms with financial experience there. So those things are good. Team with experience, advisors with experience. All right. Now, if we go take a look at the white paper, the one thing I will say is that it's very inconvenient. Well, first off, this is the one pager. All right. So I think I covered most of the stuff on the one pager, but some things that I did not mention, the main features of Xtory as a platform, is that it's developed an API on the fixed protocol, which lets companies like Bloomberg, family offices, and professional traders connect to the exchanges in a learned and convenient way. Therefore, it has high trading volume from day one and a great chance to position itself. So one of the things with exchanges, there's a lot of exchanges. Everybody's opening up a new exchange. So potentially, if they have partnerships with Bloomberg, different things like that, they could have more liquidity early on. We went through the everything else on the one pager. The thing I will add here, the white paper is not very easy to read because it's this embedded thing, which I guess you could, I don't know, can you download it? No, can't really download it. So it makes it very difficult to read because you got to scroll through, and on my computer you see this much at a time, which, you know, whatever. But that's feedback. Xtory, Europe's first legal compliant fiat and cryptocurrencies exchange. Okay, they have a nice little letter up top here, handwritten letter, telling you what they're building. So that's kind of nice. It adds a personal touch. They share our goals, which is good. If we go on further, there was some stuff that I wanted to point out here. We will find it eventually. So they talk about the deficiencies with current exchanges and current cryptocurrency markets. And I think this is important because you need to know what the problems are in order to address the problem. So first problem is coin thefts. If we look at some exchanges like CoinCheck, Mt. Gox, NiceHash, Bitfinex, lots of money missing. Oh, well over $1 billion now, but lots of money missing. Also, authentication weaknesses, manipulation. This is something we've been seeing more and more. Lots of manipulation going on in markets, lots of exchanges pumping their own volume, wash trading, things like that. Also pump and dump groups, all this stuff. So they're taking a look at how to deal with that, and basically dealing with that would help prevent pump and dumps, potentially prevent people from losing a lot of money in these types of manipulation. Also, lack of transparency. So like we mentioned in the beginning, they're aiming to bring together cryptocurrencies with legal securities exchange frameworks to help legitimize everything. They have their solution, which here, and as you can see, I'm not sure if it's as easy for you to see this, but it is very difficult to read this stuff. I mean, because you can read one paragraph at a time on this, basically. It would be nice to be able to download the white paper or to get it from somewhere else. But I can see maybe by having it as an embedded thing, they can update it more often, potentially. So, features of the exchange. This I saw was interesting. So the short-term features, the MAW and the TOW. Okay, the MAW is the My Admin Wallet. Now the My Admin Wallet is something where the customer alone knows your private key and has sole control. So you own your keys, you own your money. That's pretty cool. Then there's also the TOW somewhere, the Trusted Operators Wallet. So this is the automated trading options and execution by nearly instantaneous peer-to-peer transactions possible using their zero transaction time technology. So this kind of shows you how all of it works. We have cold wallets, we have hot wallets, we have the blockchain trading, we have TOWs, private keys, and MAWs. Nice little thing there. And like I said, they are in a beta right now, but coming up in the future, we will probably have something, or it's a closed beta right now, but coming up in the future, we'll have something that we could potentially test out and try. And let's see, anything else? I mean, in terms of an exchange, it's going to look like many other exchanges. You know, has your candles, has your order books, different stuff like that. I'm sure you can change the colors and whatnot, and you'll be able to monitor different things on there. This seems to be something that's pretty important, the zero transaction time and scan your bill payments. So zero transaction times, it's not necessary to wait for transaction times and confirmations from the miners. The transactions are executed directly on the system. That's pretty nice. That way you don't have to wait. It's not like a decentralized exchange where you need to wait for stuff to be done. And also, therefore, if Ethereum got bottled up again, then, you know, those Ethereum decentralized exchanges, they slow down significantly. That wouldn't happen on here. We have more pictures of what it could look like, and they have other options there, trading butlers, different things like that. So they compare themselves with many other exchanges here. They say compared with all the other exchanges, they're the only one that allows you to do everything, which is holding your private keys, debit card, accepting fiat transactions, analytics tools, trading butler, portfolio manager. I would say yes, potentially, but these ones all have working products. This is still in the making, okay? It's still an idea. You guys got to realize with ICOs or security things, they are ideas. We want to see development, but that's what you do. When you buy an ICO, you buy into risk, and then potentially it could pay off in the future. Then they go on. You guys can read the rest of the white paper, but that's basically it in terms of what's going on there. The benefits, like I mentioned, 50% discount, ICO and SEO crowdfunding, transaction mining, all of that stuff. If you guys are into getting into exchanges, this one looks like it could be pretty legitimate. Again, do your own research, but it is licensed and legally compliant in Germany and Liechtenstein. And I've met some Germans and they seem to be pretty uptight, so I would imagine they've dotted their T's and crossed their I's to make sure that everything is working with this. So that's Xtory at xtory.com if you want to find out more information. Now, let's go take a look at Tatau, or Tattoo, or Tatau. So Tatau is blockchain-based AI computing platform. Pretty cool. I mean, this one, when I was looking at it, when I was reading it, what I thought of was Deep Brain Chain. That's one that I've talked about a lot. That's one that I personally have invested in. And I think it's pretty rad because, hey, AI, things are going the way of AI and deep learning and all that fun stuff that I don't understand, but, you know, we'll be able to benefit from it in the future. And what's a great way to do it? Well, with AI and with all this stuff, they need vast computing resources in order to do all this AI stuff. But instead of buying all those vast computing resources, they can kind of just rent them. So that's similar to something that's happening into here. So Tatau is tapping into underutilized GPU computing resources worldwide. So the problem, and again, good to have a problem, and then a solution, existing CPU-based data centers have not effectively evolved with the rise of artificial intelligence, video rendering, and streaming analytics. Their solution, distributed computing platform based on AI, tapping into underutilized computing resources worldwide, blockchain-based data processing services on the Tatau platform. So, using GPUs as opposed to CPUs allows for more computing power. We know that. Anyone who gets into mining, obviously you can't mine Bitcoin with you can't mine Bitcoin with a GPU either. Let's start again. Okay, so you can't mine Ethereum with a CPU anymore, or it would be very slow, but you could mine it with a GPU. All right, and you can mine it much faster. So anyways, I'm beside myself, whatever. Memory capabilities, so more memory bandwidth allows for GPUs to process data faster, and efficiency. GPUs can be 10 times more efficient than CPUs, allowing firms to save over power consumption. So in the Tatau ecosystem, they'll have payments. The Tatau token is used when buying and selling computational output. So basically, you can have these GPUs, or you can sell. I mean, you can have them and you can sell the GPU usage, or you could buy that GPU usage for computationally intensive stuff like rendering, like AI stuff, like deep learning, all that fun stuff. Or staking. Tatau token is used to stake computational nodes and validators. How is it unique? Well, they're first to provide proof of work computation for AI and rendering tasks. Parallelization, focus on global computing, offers function as a service. The requester only pays for computing tasks done. I don't exactly know. Now, in terms of the team, they do have a team with people with good experience on it. And when we take a look at advisors, we have some significant advisors like Jeff Pulver from Alchemist, like Nimrod May from Serum Labs, a successful cryptocurrency project out there. So we do have advisors. Giotto, who's also an advisor for Decentraland, which seems to be gaining some popularity recently. Also, Blockchain Labs. So they have all of that. And in partnerships, they are partners with Blockchain Labs, TechMe, Brave New Coin, Blockchain Association New Zealand, and Urban Voyage. Now, in terms of the roadmap, August 2017, design completed. October 2017, architecture finalized. December 2017, concept development completed. February 2018, white paper finalized. April 2018, $1.5 million seed round completed. So they did get some money. That's pretty cool. May 2018, proof of computation pilot completed. August 2018, MVP completed. Cha-ching, they have an MVP, so that's good. They have a team, they have advisors, they have an MVP. Now, where are we now? Well, September, October, they have the private pre-sale round. January 2019, all beta version released. February 2019, begin beta processing of commercial AI contracts. And June 2019, launch of Tatau platform. So a little ways out until we see the launch of the Tatau platform. Now, let's go and take a look at things just off the top of my head. So, I mean, launch of Tatau platform, it's about a year. What is that, a year and some out? June 2019. That's like 8-9 months out. So we look at other types of competition that they have, things like Deep Brain Chain, maybe mildly less so like Golem, like Sonam, like things like that. They're a little bit behind, but you know, that's the thing with ICOs. You take the risk, you assume the risk, and then you see could potentially grow with it. So, as you can see with this white paper, it is nicer to have a full page white paper that way you can read the whole darn thing. You can download it if you want to instead of an embedded white paper. But blockchain-based enterprise-focused distributed supercomputing platform. So they talk about what they're doing there. I'm just going to go through the pictures to show you because a picture is worth 1,000 words. Now the pictures, basically, this picture, pretty important. So they're aiming at harnessing powers of GPUs. Why? Because you can have thousands of cores as opposed to just multiple cores on a CPU. So a lot more processing power, a lot more processing speed for all of the AI stuff. Guys, I've talked with people I've talked with the director of AI or something like that at Deep Brain Chain. And yeah, they need this stuff. Like AI places need this stuff. So this is something that's definitely needed out there. It's just who's going to get the contract because AI is pretty huge. There's a lot of people in the market. Are they going to be able to bring it to market? And I think their white paper kind of answers that for us. But they talk about the problem, they talk about the solution. In a technical overview, this is basically how it works. So you submit a computational request to Tatau API, sets up an escrow contract for the computational request, then you distribute computational requests to computational nodes, then computational nodes request compute request, then escrow contract, then escrow contract verifies computational request correctness, and the return is completed request to buyer. So that's how it works. It uses escrow payments, computational requests, things like that to ensure that the work done is done and to validate it and for payments. They also use these other things that are called computational fingerprints to make sure that the work is done completely as it's supposed to be done. And that also works with the escrow payments as shown down here to make sure that the stuff is done correctly. So you have the computational nodes, which calculates the computational fingerprint by using pre-completed binary in model, right here, computational fingerprint. Then the computational node sends the computational fingerprint to escrow contract, which were those escrow contracts in the last picture I showed you. And then the escrow contract checks the computational fingerprint is the private key for public key given by requester, confirming the authenticity. So using smart contracts to do all of this interesting stuff that's well beyond anything that I could ever understand. But they do use some third-party dependencies, some ones that you may have heard of, like IPFS, the Interplanetary File System, which will be used as a method for lead storage and tracking. Also, BigChainDB, so this is for their databases, I suppose, which uses Tendermint for consensus. And also, Proof of Authority Network. Now, this is POA Network, the ERC20 token, but they're using POA Network, and they opted to use that. Initially, miners on the PO network will be owned by Tatau, but over time, additionally trustworthy entities will be added. So that's that. Competitive. So one thing that I do like about their white paper is they go very in depth with this, so they give a lot more information than many people would want to know. So they talk about their competitive landscape. They talk about how there are a lot of people in AI. They talk about the different things that AI does. Also, they talk about their next steps, their token. Now, guys, if you want to find out more about the tokens in terms of token sales, stuff like that, you can obviously go check out their website, tatau.io. But right now, tokens uses a payment and staking. All right, you can find out in the white paper, tells you more and more about the tokens, allocations, distributions, things like that. But here's here we get to the important part, because like I said, they are in a very competitive marketplace. All right, AI is very competitive with some of the best brains in the world working on it, but they have a growth plan. So, I mean, they talk about how they're going to work with growing and also how they're going to work with marketing. So creating demand, their go-to-market strategy. So they talk about all these different things that they're going to be doing, both on the demand side and the supply side, to help build up market usage, different things like that. So we talked about the partnerships, we talked about the team, and I think that's pretty much that in terms of what's going on here. Now, so all in all, I mean, like I said, this is a sponsored interview. So obviously they're just doing this to, I mean, do your own research is what I'm saying. I'm just presenting this stuff. Personally, these are my opinions. I'll give you my opinions of this. Okay, I think they're both pretty interesting projects that could do pretty darn well because they are in necessary areas. Like for instance, we'll start with Xtory. Okay, Xtory, Germany and Liechtenstein have both licensed this exchange. I mean, that's a lot of work. Like, have you met German people? They're pretty darn uptight. So getting it through that, getting it through those regulations, those loopholes, tells me they can kind of get some stuff done. But there are a lot of exchanges out there. There are a lot of exchange platforms. We'll kind of have to see. So pluses, minuses, plus didn't really like the white paper presentation way on this website. That was difficult. Okay. Tatau. I like this idea. Like you guys know, I'm a big fan of deep brain chain. All right. And because I like blockchain, and I think artificial intelligence is going to take over the world in the future. All right, so this is a great way to get involved in that stuff. Downside, very competitive marketplace very early on in this project, somewhat early on in this project. But that's the thing. With ICOs, you get in early, and then potentially you get out later. Now, right now, most ICOs have a negative 50% return rate. So, you know, if you want short profits on ICOs, probably won't see them. But, you know, over the next few years, if these are projects that you like and believe in, potentially they could do something for you. So anyways, that is that. Like I said, sponsor review. I do this to help support the channel so I don't have to put ads before my videos. And yeah, and obviously these are just my opinions. Do your own research before, you know, buying any this or any other things. Anyways, that's it. That's the end of the review. I'm calling it there. It is done, done, done. Turn it off. Done, done. All right. I'll catch you guys later. Love you. Peace.